What's up, everybody? Welcome in. We're finally live. It's the Bankroll. It's me. It's Alex Renee for tips. I'm the big man on campus. He's Alex Renee for tips. We're talking Europa League best bets for Thursday, August 2nd, 2018. Europa League, Alex, it's coming in fast and furious, like Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. It's coming in quick. Let's get to it. We got a lot to talk about, but I want to just point out one thing. Champions League scorelines looking good right now. We have Red Star. We
Absolutely.
have a couple others. Looking forward to talking about Europa League, though, today. We have a lot of matches to talk about. There are so many matches to get into. We can't waste any more time. How you doing, Alec?
I'm doing great. I feel very, very, very good after one great day from Champions League yesterday. The scores are looking incredible for today. Our picks are 100% correct till now. So let's get ready to rumble with Europa League. We killed Europa League last year, you and me, and I'm sure that we will do it again.
Yeah, I am too. And let's jump into it. We were supposed to have Mark. He had some little trouble there, but you and I will crack on without anyone here. Let's jump into it. Now we got a lot of games. We kind of got about 10 games here to go over. We're not going to hit every Europa League game. I mean, there's about, I don't know, 30 Europa League games. We can't hit every
Yeah.
single one. Some of them we're just not going to get to, but we'll try to get to as many as we can. We'll try to get to as many questions as we can. If you have a question, feel free. Let us know in the chat. Also, hit the like button if you're out there. Say hello. Let us know that you've been watching and where you're at. And we'll try to get to you as well. Let's start it out, Alex. We'll start with Häcken. Häcken 4.0 against Leipzig. Leipzig out of Germany, one of the better teams of Germany, 1.8, draw at 4. Look, Leipzig's up 4-0, and I'll admit, I actually had Leipzig in the first go-round. I laid 2.5
Yeah.
goals. It was a pretty easy winner. They absolutely crushed Häcken. Häcken is a team that cannot keep goals out. They're just a team really not, meant for playing a team like Leipzig. Do we see a similar result here? It's hard to envision, Alex, not laying it with Leipzig here at 1.8. Looks like a great price. I don't think a change of venue is going to matter much here.
Look, I'm sure that Leipzig will win. Yeah, you had a great bet, minus 2.5. I had over 3 goals on the Asian handicap. They landed 4 goals. So, yeah, I think that Leipzig are a sure winner if you want to stick them in an accumulator bet. If you want to play it minus 1.5, I think it's a good choice. They are the experienced side. Häcken, no experience in the European competitions. Leipzig enjoyed a decent season in the European Cups last season, and they will try to qualify back in the Champions League group stages. And this is an easy win for them on the road at in Sweden at Häcken. I'm going RB Leipzig and over 1.5 goals in the match at 1.91. I think that we should see plenty of goals in that match. Leipzig easily scoring at least 2 and not conceding more than 1. So yeah, I think that even if you want to go Leipzig and over 2.5 goals in the match, should be a winner. But in case they will win just 2-0, which I think that it will be easy, Leipzig and over 1.5 goals at 1.91.
This doesn't make any sense to me, this number. Why is Leipzig only minus 120 to beat BK Häcken? I mean, Häcken sucks. I mean, what's this line all about? I thought this line would be 1.4, 1.5. I know Leipzig is obviously up a lot, and for them to win, it's not really a big deal to them. I mean, they're going to move on regardless. But this is a weird number. I thought it'd be a bit lower. That's a bit of a concern for me. But I think Leipzig's just a way better team than BK Häcken here. I'm going to go with the straight Leipzig win here at 1.8. I'm going to take the bait. Look, if it's 1-1. Salud, it is what it is. If they lose, I mean, I lost to BK
Nah,
Häcken. What are you going to do? I'm going to go with
no,
the straight
no,
up win. I'm going to go with the straight
no,
up
no.
win
It's
here.
impossible. It's impossible for
Yeah,
Leipzig
but
to draw
you're
this match.
basically laying. You're not far from even money here against Häcken. What is that all about?
Yeah. I don't know. The lines changed huge. I wrote an article for our sister site, oddsmarket.com. If you want to check it out, Europa League's qualifiers best tips. I have this match also included in the article. The odds in the morning, so 10 hours ago, something like that, were 1.65. But I'm saying, even if they are playing their B side, if they're playing with the players that they will not use them so much further in the campaign, in the domestic campaign and the European campaign, I think that Häcken, come on, 4-0 easy in the first round without even putting any pressure on scoring more goals. I think that at least they will win this match for sure.
I mean, I don't know if anyone knows, but I mean, Leipzig even went down to 10 men, and they were still able to score a goal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Leipzig should roll here. Let's move on. Another game that you like, Sparta Prague at a Czech Republic, 1.16 against Subotica out of Serbia. Subotica 15, draw at 7. Subotica actually up 2-0. How about that? The Serbians were quite surprising in the first leg. Do you expect Prague to come back here? What do you like here, Alex, in Prague, Subotica?
I think the Sparta Prague are by far the best side between the two of them. I think that they made huge investments in the summer to qualify at least in one of the group stages, either Europa League, either Champions League, because whoever loses, whoever doesn't qualify from this round, they will go further in Europa League. I think that they are forced to go all guns blazing and offer their fans something to cheer for. They have great players. I used to watch them last season in their domestic league. Made a lot of money on betting with Sparta Praga, but now they are even better than that because they brought some great players in the summer transfer window. It was a huge upset, but it was one of those days that many chances of scoring, and they didn't score not even one goal. I think that on their turf they are pretty solid, and I think that they will overcome the 2 goals deficit, and they will qualify further. And I'm taking Sparta Praga to qualify at 1.8 right now.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you have to figure they're going to onslaught Subotica here. They're at home. They're the better side. I'm not on this game per se, but as you speak on it, it definitely looks like a good one. Let's move on to Ike against Nordsjælland out of Denmark. Ike out of Sweden. I'm going to look at a total in this game. I'm going to go under 2.5. I think this is a pretty solid play. You look at it in the first game, Nordsjælland at home actually have a 1-0 lead in this fixture, but there weren't a ton of chances. These two teams are both very good on the defensive side. I think we see a really, kind of low level, defensive-minded game. Not a ton of opportunities, not a ton of chances. Under 2.5 looks pretty good in this game. I could see maybe Ike coming back and winning this. I could see 2-0 maybe, but I just don't see a lot of goals in this game. I'm going to go Ike Nordsjælland under 2.5 at 1.9 in that one. One other one, Alex. I want to throw this in. Mark Stitchcomb actually wanted to talk about this game, and I kind of want to hear your opinion as well. These are two teams that I think we both kind of have some experience with. Burnley hosting Aberdeen. Burnley 1.33, draw 5.25. Aberdeen at 8. I thought these were big odds for Aberdeen. I mean, Burnley is a side that are a good side. I mean, they're at home. They're generally good at turf more. We have a 1-1 scoreline here. I mean, I think the farmers up from Aberdeen have a feeling they can maybe come in and get a result here and maybe move on. Burnley never beats teams by a wide margin, it seems like. Am I out of my mind to think that Aberdeen at plus 1.5 for Asian handicap at 1.85 seems pretty good here? I mean, why is this why are Aberdeen such a big favorite or big underdogs here? Seems like a pretty even match to me.
Yeah, Burnley, your team from last season, right? From the
Yeah,
Premier League, you made a ton of money with that
I
team.
did. Yes. Oh,
Going with them as underdogs, like you're saying about Aberdeen. So I don't know if that's a good choice or a bad choice. I think that because I don't have any opinion about this match. If you ask me, it can go over 2.5 goals at 1.92. I think that this is the only way I will play this match. But listen to Jeff. If he sees a good underdog, Aberdeen against his team Burnley, which they didn't start yet the Premier League. They will start it in not this weekend, the other weekend. I wanted to answer something. Trevor Holt said if Werner and Forsberg will play for RB Leipzig. Well, we don't know if they are playing because it's not like in the American sports that we know the lineups from one day before. In soccer / football, how we call it in Europe, we find out the lineups 1 hour before each game because maybe the coaches are preparing some changes, last minute changes. Maybe they will want to surprise their opponents with another way of playing, defensive or attacking play, depends from match to match. So this is why we don't know in football like that it is. But yeah, I think that you should go with Jeff with Aberdeen plus 1.5 there. I think that Burnley are
Yeah,
still not prepared yet
yeah,
for
they're
the
going
new
to be
season.
they're going to be my third tip. I'm gonna punt out with Aberdeen here at a plus 1.5. I just don't think Burnley are 2 goals better than Aberdeen. I really don't. This is a side that to me is going to have some trouble in the Premier League this year. Aberdeen, one of the better Scottish sides. I think they have a thought that they can go and win this game. They can obviously play at a high level. I think this could be a boring, drabby match. Wouldn't surprise you if it's 2-1, 1-1. I just don't see 2 or 3-0 here for Burnley. I'm sorry. I'm going to take Aberdeen out of Scotland at a plus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.85. Another one for me. I'm going to go up back to Scotland. I'm going to take Rangers at 1.9 against Osijek out of Croatia. Osijek actually played pretty well in the first round. They only had a 1-0 win, Rangers. It was a much better scoreline than I think Osijek even thought. But now you have to head on the road. You got to go to Ibrox here. And Alex, I mean, the haunting numbers that this Croatian side have had on the road is quite staggering. I mean, they've won once over the last 14 road games in all competitions, not just in this competition. They have been a dreadful roadside. Rangers haven't conceded yet under Steven Gerrard. I just think they're a better side here. I think the odds are a bit too low. I'm going to go with Rangers Football Club out of Scotland at 1.9 against Osijek from Croatia. Um, Alex, let's move on to your next game here. Vitesse out of Holland hosting Viitorul out of Romania. Vitesse 1.36, draw 0.75, and Viitorul at 8. Viitorul Constant. What do you like here, Alex?
I
I'm not
love
good with
you. I
Romanian.
love you when you are saying the names of
I'm not
those
good with Romanian
those.
pronunciation. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Vitesse Arnhem from the Netherlands and Viitorul Constanța from Romania. They drew 2-2 in the first match. Viitorul was 2-0 in the lead, but because they have a young team, they have the best academy in Romania, and I think that one of the best academies in Europe. Um, Gheorghe Hagi is the owner of the club, and he's doing a really amazing job taking young kids and putting them in the academy, taking care of them, making a lot of good football players and selling them abroad in better leagues. I think that he's doing a wonderful job. He can also start with 3 different sides. All of them, they are young. This is why they are a little bit also naive. And we've seen that they have a great attacking firepower, but their defensive side has huge lacks there. So this is why Vitesse scored two goals to draw that game on that away game. What I'm expecting from the second match, I'm expecting the same open match. I'm expecting a lot of goals. I'm going over 2.5 goals at 1.75. I think that also Viitor will score, will find the back of the net against against the team from the Netherlands. So you can also play the Alex Classic, both team to score and the over 2.5, which is priced around 2.1 or plus 110 for our American friends. Or I'm going straight with the over 2.5 goals at 1.75, the best odds on the market right now with Bet365.
Another Romanian team, Steaua Bucharest, hosting Rudar out of Slovenia. Steaua 1.22, draw 5.75, Rudar at 13. You're a big, obviously you're Romanian, Alex. We just talked about Costana there. What do you like at Steaua? Can they get the job done? The odds are low. Should see a Steaua win here. How big is it?
Yeah. Comfortably win. Also in the first leg, they didn't go all in, but still they won 2-0 away in Rudar, away in Velie. How I don't know exactly how it's called, the name of the town. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, in the second leg they should trash Rudar, and I'm going Steaua Bucharest or FCSB right now. The different name that they changed their name lately. So minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.8 for the home side, for the Romania side.
Yeah, this sounds like a nice play here. Steaua Bucharest should be able to crush the Slovenian side here at home. Sound like a really good play. I'm going to go to a pretty small match, kind of a random one, but I definitely see goals here. Alex, this is kind of the hard-hitting info and picks that we give on this show. We go to the depths of Europa League. We go to Norway. We go to Sweden. We go wherever. I'm going to go to Sarpsborg against St. Gallen out of Switzerland. I'm going to go both teams to score at 1.75. For anyone that's curious, both these teams have been goal-scoring machines. Sarpsborg have scored in 11 straight games. This St. Gallen team have scored, and there's been both teams to score in 10 of their last 12. Both these groups have been scoring goals at a feverish pace. I don't think that stops tomorrow. I think this is a competitive match against two fairly even teams. I'm going to go over both teams to score at 1.75 between Sarpsborg out of Norway and St. Gallen in Switzerland. Alex, did you look at that one?
No, I didn't. But I'm writing down your tips, and I will tell them all of them. The one that I like most, I'm going with, for sure. I'm going with Aberdeen plus 1.5, as you said, and I will rewatch the video because this is what usually I'm doing after the video in the morning before
And
the plays.
Alex,
I'm rewatching the videos, and I'm telling the best plays of my colleagues.
And Alex, do me a favor. What we'll do at the end of the video is we'll give all of our tips that we gave out, and then we'll give our favorites. Okay, so
Absolutely.
we'll make sure we recap at the end. So one more time: Sarpsborg and St. Gallen, both teams to score at 1.75. Let's go to one of your matches, Alex. We'll go to Latvia and take a look at Spartaks Jermala against Fiorita out of San Marino, and we know that. Fiorita and these San Marino, Gibraltar, Malta teams generally aren't any good. Latvia being Jamal being priced low here, 1.25. Fiorita getting 11. Any chance that the San Marinese team have a shot here?
No, 6-0. It was game, set, and match in the first leg, like they were playing tennis, in Latvia and in San Marino. As you said, we are going Sweden, we are going San Marino, we are going Switzerland, we are going in every point of Europe because there are plenty of matches, plenty of value to take from those matches. And as you all know, guys, we destroyed the Europa League last season, and we are ready to do it for one more season. Spartaks, I love them. I not that I love them as a team, but against San Marino, how not to like them? I'm going Spartaks minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.82. Incredible odds, great odds.
Yeah, I think you could really kind of pile on here. Betting against Rudar, Fiorita. I'm actually going to come up with one here in a little. These San Marino, Gibraltar teams. Another team out of Gibraltar. There actually is one good team though. Lincoln Red Imps isn't terrible out of Gibraltar. They actually played Celtic a few years ago and drew with them. They're not terrible. But yeah, I mean this Fiorita team has no shot. I'm going to go next, Alex, to Kosovo and take a look at Drita against Dudelange. Dudelange out of Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Yeah, this is quite amazing, Alex. Dudelange have never won a road game in the Europa League, ever. They've never won a road game. Now, how many of those they've had, I don't know. But it's quite amazing that in your history, Dudelange, you've never won a game on the road in this competition. It's quite amazing. Now, for anyone interested, Dudelange, like I said, is a team out of southern Luxembourg. They've been formed not very long, though. They've only been a club since 1991, so only about 25-ish years, but they've, again, never won in the Europa League. Um, let's get to the prediction here. I'm going to take Drita here, 3.1. I think this is a really big price, on the Kosovars here. Again, Kosovo, not a football-rich country, but I'll tell you what, there are some good Kosovar players. If you know anything about, Jordan Shaqiri, for instance, he's Kosovo. A lot of these Albanians are originally from Kosovo. They're a football-rich, getting there as a country. They're kind of feeding off the Albanian football leagues as well. And I think Drita can win this game. Dudelange should not be a favorite at any level. Sorry, especially on the road. I'm going to take FC Drita 3.1 in Kosovo against Dudelange.
That's a that's a good, nice call. Yeah, I love the odds.
I mean, I know my Albanian team somewhat, so let's rock with that. Alex, let's before we get to kind of our best bets and what we're all on here, let's just go through a couple other matches, some of the bigger teams, see if there's any thing we can kind of get involved with here. One, for instance, is an interesting one: Atalanta against Sarajevo. Sarajevo surprised Alex in the first round, didn't they? Now they host against Sarajevo here, or they host Atlanta here, a 2-2 tie. Do we see more goals here?
I think that we should probably see at least 3 goals in the match, and Atalanta to win the match. Atalanta, I think that they are by far the better side. They had a pretty decent warm-up campaign. I think that they won 3 matches and draw one in their friendly games. Okay, they played small sides, but they were incredible also last season in Serie A. And come on, we are talking about Sarajevo. I know that they have some Brazilian players, but those Brazilian players are bought for €500,000, and they are getting paid €10,000 maximum if they are lucky per month. So we are talking about huge difference between two clubs. Atalanta, yes, they were the upset, in my opinion, they were the negative upset in the first leg. I think that they will go now to trash Sarajevo. Most important right now is how the pitch will like. If it will be a hard pitch, full of rains in Europe right now, and we know that the small leagues they don't preserve their pitches so good, like in Romania, like in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and other countries. So if it will be a tough pitch, maybe we might see an upset. But even like that, I don't think that Atalanta should be afraid of this away leg. I think that they are going to trash Sarajevo, and I'm going. I will take Atalanta at minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap.
Yeah, that's a good point about the pitches. I remember last year, Alex, you and I bet Bosnia against Belgium in World Cup qualifiers, and the pitch was hideous in Sarajevo. It was absolutely disgusting. There were divots everywhere, brown mud. It was just hideous. It really was poor. I think that's one thing that could hold Atlanta back here. But even laying 1.5 looks pretty strong here. They should be able to get a convincing victory. Besiktas hosting Torshavn. Torshavn, again, is a poor side. But again, I couldn't find much value here. Laying 3 goals, it's hard to do. Can Besiktas put up 5 here? I think they can, surely. If I'm going to look at this one, I might consider laying 3 goals. I mean, did you look at this game? I know you have some decent info on some of these Turkish teams. Torshavn really struggled in the first match. You've got to figure at home it even get more ugly.
Yeah, you can bet Besiktas to win both halves, Besiktas to win to score in both halves, Besiktas minus 1.5 in the first half of the game. I think that the odds are decent. at least for a parlay. I think that they will demolish the Faroes, the team from Faroe Islands, and we should see at least a 4-5-0 again. So the -3 on the Asian handicap that you mentioned looks like a good bet. And let's give a shout out to our friends that are watching us right now, and they are on the chat. TGOD, Alex and Big Man, the best duo. Thank you, Stefano, Lucky, Trevor Holt, Billy, who said Helsinki prediction went terribly wrong. Yes, Billy, we cannot give them all
God
as
forbid,
winners.
Billy,
We are not gods.
God forbid we get every one right, Billy. Christ. We're not going to win every game.
Ergo
How
Kaustik,
about hey, nice
Joe
call.
Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
No, real quick. How about nice call, Billy? Maybe you could say that instead of looking for all the negatives. Ergo makes a great point here, Alex. A great commenter. He's saying Hibs and Asteris Tripoli over 3.5. I agree completely. This Hib team, Hibernian out of Scotland, they just cannot keep goals out. I mean, they're giving up goals to everybody. I actually had a game recently, Alex. I kind of got involved with it. It was kind of interesting. They played a team, I believe, out of, I want to say Iceland. I mean, it was 6-4, aggregate 12-5. I mean, this Hibernian team just is scoring a ton of goals. Go back to a game last year against Rangers, the last game of the season, 5-5. They played 3-2 against Asteris in the last match. Over 3.5 looks pretty good, riding the hot hands. There's been a lot of goals in these games with Hibs.
Absolutely, and over 3.5 at 3.25, it's incredible.
Yeah, I might get involved with that one. That's a good call by you, Ergo. Hibs have given up a lot of goals. Let's do one or two more here, and then we'll wrap up our predictions here. We talked Burnley, Aberdeen. That's probably one of the most notable games here on the card. What else do we have here?
We have
couple of known teams, Applewell, Nicosia. They're still around.
Sevilla.
Partizan Belgrade. What do you got?
Sevilla away in Hungary. They're playing Újpest from Hungary. 4-0 in the first leg. 1.3 right now, the odds for a straight win. Tomorrow I will post also a parlay bet on my Twitter account. I think that we should see the favorites winning, easily winning. And if you combine 3-4 matches for 1.3, sure odds of 2.5 free, depends on how many matches you select. I think that this is money in the bank.
Yeah, I might do that right now as we're on the air. Let's do that right now. Let's do I'm gonna do a couple here, Alex.
Okay.
Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna do here's
okay,
a couple
you say free, you say free, and I say free. Come on, let's do it.
Yes, I'm gonna do RB Leipzig to win. I'm gonna do Sparta Prague to win. I'm gonna do Besiktas to win. I'm gonna do Steaua Bucharest to win.
You said free, big
I'm gonna do a couple.
On, you will say them all.
No, I'm gonna do Steaua to win. I'm gonna do Rangers to win, and I'm gonna do Sevilla to win. I can get odds at 6.61 on Sevilla, Rangers, Besiktas, Leipzig, Prague, and Steaua. I can do that for 6.61.
I will take your Rangers out, and instead of Rangers, I will put Spartaks from Latvia against La Fiorita.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I could do that, but I got to tell you, I really like Rangers. They're one of my favorite bets of the day tomorrow. But let's crack on. Let's get through our tips here, and let's give out some of our favorite plays. Again, guys, keep in mind, not every game that we give out, is our favorite. Let's kind of rail it down to 2 or 3. Alex, why don't you start with all your tips, and then give out 1 or 2 of your favorite.
Leipzig -1. Leipzig and the over 1.5 goals at 1.91 against Häcken. Vitesse versus Viitorul over 2.5 goals at 1.7. Spartak Prague to qualify at 1.8. Steaua Bucharest -1.5, and the Spartaks at -1.5. And the two ones that I love the most, the free ones, let's say, I have free ones. Vitesse Viitorul over 2.5 goals, Leipzig and over 1.5 goals in the match, and Steaua Bucharest minus 1.5 goals.
Now, Alex, I don't know if I've ever told you this, or I believe I've shared this. My typical bet, every game I bet is $300. All right, I might bet $1,000 on this first game. All right, and I'll give you the rest. My favorite tip out of this entire card is Leipzig. I don't understand this number. Even the B team could beat Häcken. Okay, so if I get the right lineups, I'm going pretty heavy on Leipzig to win. The rest of my tips, I like Ike, Nordic Island under 2.5. I like Aberdeen plus 1.5 against Burnley. I like Rangers 1.9 against Osijek. I like Sarpsborg, St. Gallen, both teams to score. And I like Drita out of Kosovo 3.1 against Dudelange. My favorites, Leipzig at 1.8 and Rangers Football Club, the Fighting Steven Gerrards, my favorite player ever other than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Give me Gerrard and Rangers at 1.9. Alex, always great. I love doing these videos with you. I love when we have all these games to choose from. It's so fun to find value on these and have some fun. Any final thoughts as we wrap up the Europa League show for this week?
No, I think that already everyone knows that next week the Premier League is starting. Team Bankroll, Natalie Riceroom, Flash, Big Man, and myself are going to preview the EPL show every single week. The best bet show is starting. A lot of other surprises at SBR. Follow us, subscribe, give us a like. Follow us also on Twitter at Jeff Nadu and at Need for Tips. We're giving our best plays. Everything is for free, at least from my point of view and what we're doing at SBR. I don't know from Big Man's point of view, but I will not talk on his behalf. So yes, I think that you should follow at least the YouTube channel because a lot of informations. Martin Green will be back from next week. Stuart from Tipster HQ will be back, and a lot of other friends, new friends, and new great tipsters.
One thing before we go, Alex, I do want to throw one thing out. I do like the MLS All-Stars tonight at 3.6 against Juventus. I know a lot of people will downplay MLS, and even myself, I've downplayed MLS over the years, but I will say I think it's the strongest league it's been in some time. There are a lot of really good players in this league, and I got to tell you, I think this team they're throwing out tonight is a good side. They're playing down in Atlanta, in Georgia. Atlanta have had tremendous crowds. I'm talking 80,000 fans to watch MLS matches. Tonight, I think they'll be ready to go against a modified Juventus club. Keep in mind, Zlatan Ibrahimovic will not play, or David Villa, but you still have some real good players. Josef Martinez, Bradley Wright Phillips, Carlos Vela, Jonathan Dos Santos, Brad Guzan in goal. There's a lot of good players in this team still, and I think they can get the job done. I think the play in this game will be, though, draw double chance on MLS at 2.1. I like that play. I'm excited to watch this tonight. MLS All-Stars against Juventus. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We always appreciate you tuning in to the shows. We always appreciate the avenue to do Europa League on SBR. Thanks to Alex and me for joining me today. We'll see you next time here on Team Bankroll Europa League Preview. Bye-bye.
Thank you.